friendo, Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. It's a new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy 2024. Hopefully this year will be a better one for everybody. 2023 can go kick rocks. So I thought it would be fun here on the channel because I've seen a lot of people doing this to talk about predictions for the new year. There's resolutions, but then there's predictions. There's predicting what's going to happen in the new year. Over at the Going In Raw channel, Larson and I just dropped our predictions for the world of wrestling, but I want to respond to your predictions. So just the other day, I posted up a thread asking you guys, what are your predictions for the world of wrestling in 2024? I want to see if we have any Nostradamuses out there. Like I said, you can check out my predictions over there, but I'm going to talk about yours. Let's go ahead and dive into them. First up, JMC 1396. Says Swerve Strickland will be AEW champion and will have the best matches of the year. The guy is a pretty damn good wrestler. And yeah, I kind of think that I agree with this. I think that he's going to be AEW champion at some point. I don't know if they're going to do a thing where it's him and Samoa Joe. I get the feeling that if Swerve keeps up at the pace he's going, he's not really going to necessarily be a bad guy. He's going to be more of a tweener. If he sort of keeps his character as like this vicious evil bastard, people kind of like that stuff, and so he might have to swerve a little bit into the tweener area. And if he does that, and Samoa Joe, another badass that people really like, if they end up colliding, it could just be a really cool, I don't know what the fuck this is exactly. Could be a cool situation for everybody involved. I think Swerve Strickland could totally be AEW champion by the end of the year, and I think it might actually even be by the summertime. Let's move on to the next one. Luisa Reza says we'll see some major interaction between WWE and a major wrestling company, at least the level of TNA. So we're talking AEW, TNA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that's maybe AAA or CMLL. So those are sort of like the major non-WWE companies on planet Earth. And Luis is saying we'll see some major interaction. Of course, we've already seen Charlie Dempsey go from NXT to All Japan over the last day or so. I think it happened yesterday, 2 days ago, or whatever it was. I could see this. I mean, look, it was like, I don't know, a couple of years ago that Brody Lee, rest in peace, had mentioned that Triple H was trying to get an arrangement between WWE and New Japan. Now that he's the head of creative, I don't know. I think it's a possibility. I think maybe it's a possibility. I'll sort of believe it when I see it. AEW's out. They're not going to do anything with AEW. That's a guarantee. TNA, I don't know. Possible. That'd be interesting if an NXT talent went down to TNA. That'd be interesting. Nate Fuentes says, more world title changes. I love long title reigns, but I feel like a switch up every now and again in the main event scene isn't a bad thing. I think Cody will probably end up winning that title off Roman at WrestleMania. And after that, I don't know that it's a guarantee that Cody closes out the year as Universal Champion. I feel like he's sort of more on, look, Roman is obviously way up here, but I feel like Cody's like a lot more sort of on par with a lot of the other top names. Like he's more of a Seth Rollins level guy. There's no other Romans right now, man. So I don't know. I don't know how they're going to handle Cody Rhodes' title run, but it could be the kind of thing where he gets it and he loses it by December. Maybe. I think it's a possibility. Here we go. Clever username says Dom will win Money in the Bank. It's going to go from Judgment Day to Judgment Day. Says it may be too early for him, but I think it's where it's heading. The idea of him pinning Cody for it cracks me up. What if Dom wins it after Priest cashes in and he cashes in on Priest, and that's how they jump it? Man, I'll tell you guys what, I would love to see Dom win the World Heavyweight Champion. He was, if you guys remember, I did that video ages ago when they did the World Heavyweight Championship tournament thing. My pick was Dom Mysterio. That's who I wanted to win. Obviously, I figured it'd be Seth Rollins, and it was Seth Rollins. But man, I wanted Dom Mysterio to win that World Heavyweight Championship. Oh, that'd have been so good. That'd have been amazing. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it. AJ Forsyth says, when or if Cody wins the title, it'll be redesigned. And the tag belts will be split and redesigned, as well as new sets in WWE. The R, it says WWR, but the R is next to the E, so I think he means WWE. New sets would be awesome. I don't see that happening because didn't they just have like their season premiere like kind of recently? So I don't know about that one. I don't think they're going to redesign the title when Cody wins it either, because they just redesigned that thing, and I think they like that WWE logo title thing. I think they like that. I do agree with you. I think tag belts are going to split. There's all sorts of rumors that they had like several versions of split titles already made, and they were photographing them. They were filming them in test runs before the shows to see how they would look on camera. So I think that's going to be a thing. You're going to have to wait a little while, maybe after Mania, maybe. I get the feeling that this year's draft, given that Aldis is there and given that Adam Pearce is there, I think the draft is going to be much more intense, and it's going to have much bigger ramifications this year, including split tag titles. Blake Whitehouse says Mustafa Ali signs with TNA, wins the X Division Championship, and option sees it to win the TNA World Championship. Man, if TNA were able to score Mustafa Ali as like their guy, that's one thing TNA needs, is sort of to build up their potential sort of main event men's division, like for the world title. They need to do that because they don't have very many draws there. The rest of their roster is absolutely stacked. It's amazing. I'm actually looking forward to Hard to Kill coming up in mid-January. But besides Josh Alexander and like maybe Moose, they don't really have a whole lot going on there. No offense to anybody who I'm leaving out, like Macklin or whatever. But yeah, Mustafa Ali, I think he'd make a killer TNA World Champion. Now that's going to be TNA starting today, I guess. Zombie Fresh says there will be a major shift in creative in AEW. A couple of you did this one as well. You guys had AEW. Will their fortunes, creatively speaking, turn around? It seems like Tony Khan has said that he believes that the Continental Classic is a good catalyst for a new direction for AEW. He wants to go hard on sort of the sports aspect, the sports presentation of AEW. Will that come with a brand redesign? Will that come with some sort of it wouldn't shock me if he did. It wouldn't shock me if he changed the name of the company from All Elite Wrestling to All something else that starts with E Wrestling. Because I think the Elite are not going to be as prominently featured as they were like a year ago. But yeah, I think that Tony Khan has hinted that, or he's outright said that he feels the Continental Classic gave him reason to believe that sort of thing is the direction to go. I personally hope they bring back rankings. I love when they did the rankings. Ooh, what's your record? You gotta start off fresh at the new year, or if you're just signing a contract, you gotta start off fresh. You don't get any guaranteed title shots. I love those rankings, man. I think they should bring them back. And yeah, I kind of feel like that's going to be the case. I think that they're going to have some sort of shift. Whether or not it's going to work, I don't know, but I'd like to see it. Speaking of AEW, Caesar is a salad says Tony Khan won't leave AEW, but he'll get a GM or someone else to be the mouthpiece for the company. Anyone else will be better. I don't disagree with that. Something's got to change with these media scrums, man. Because they get the people there. They don't really ask the questions that really kind of should be asked. And when they do ask questions, like, I don't know, it's fine to have a press conference where everybody's like in character, but then to mix that with, when there's serious shit going on, people asking that, like Tony Khan wearing that ridiculous hat and the sunglasses of Tony Storms, answering questions about sexual harassment in the workplace. I kind of feel like that last media scrum was like the one that broke the camel's back. Like, you can't do many more of those. You want to do press conferences with your wrestlers, cool. Maybe Tony shouldn't show up and they could do all that shit in character. So all the media they come out there don't have to sweat asking questions about sexual harassment while Tony Storm's up there calling out Wendy Richter. I don't know. I get the feeling that it probably won't change, to be honest with you. Tony Khan, he's kind of stubborn, man. So, yeah, I don't know. So a GM or somebody else be a mouthpiece, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm not saying it's not a good idea. I think it is. I think Tony Khan likes having the spotlight on him, man. I really do. Oh, here we go. The anime fan says, we don't get a brawl out in WWE in 2024. Hey, that's the thumbnail on the Going in Raw predictions that we did. It's a CM Punk. And my prediction there, because it's on the thumbnail, no spoiler here, is that CM Punk is going to remain drama-free. He's going to be on best behavior, and there won't be those personality clashes backstage in WWE that seemingly he had in AEW. I think you're right, anime fans. I think we don't get a brawl out in WWE in 2024, but will we get one in AEW? Now that Punk's gone, is there still going to be people in AEW that are going to put up their dukes, that are going to throw down backstage? We'll find out. Big Mike HD says TNA gets more eyes on their show. I hope so. They've got a sweet deal going in 2024, and I think that Access is going to be on like another major cable network. I think Comcast might be getting Access. I don't know, or there's some other. Yeah, I hope they do too. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what they bring to the table. I'll probably watch it for a couple weeks and then I'll drop out. Here we go. Rodders 1992 says AEW will lose a TV show and a few wrestlers not being used, but find a holding pattern they can make work without losing too many to injuries and backstage problems. Stability is the word for 2024. Man, I think AEW, it's like, right? I feel like in 2024, it's kind of unpredictable. Are they going to have a really killer year where they rebound some of the issues people have with them? Or are they just going to sort of continue to have a lot of issues? I don't know. Something's got to happen with Collision. When you say AEW lose a TV show, something's got to happen with Collision. It's a 2-hour main roster, big brand show on the worst time slot possible. You get outdone by WWE Premium Live events. Sometimes you get shoved aside for actual AEW pay-per-views. And it's on a Saturday at 5 p.m. So then like it can't even compete with like all sorts of different sports that run. They need to move Collision to Thursdays. Have the Wednesday, Thursday double punch, the 2-for-1 special. You got the Wednesday Dynamite, and then it continues on the Thursday Collision. That's what they should do. And then TNA needs to go find like another. They could do Saturdays maybe. I don't know. Here we go. Lewins88 says The Rock is going to be on WWE TV. There's a rumor that could be as early as day 1. If you're watching this on day 2, then he'll either have shown up or he wouldn't have. But Lewins here says The Rock is going to be in the same ring as Austin on WWE TV in 2024. They might even have a tag match against Roman and a newly heel Punk. That is very specific. If that happens, Lewins, you're going to get the Nostradamus of the Year award, man. Oh, Rob Zerver dropping his own prediction, says Trevor Lee, who's, of course, Cameron Grimes in WWE, will be AEW International Champion. I'd love to see that. He is criminally underused in WWE. I don't know when his contract is up, but man, they got to do something with that guy. They have him still coming out from time to time with his old Stonks-tron, and I swear nobody in the sort of the fan base that's in main roster, like the people there in attendance, why does he have a Stonks gimmick? That don't make any sense. Oh, here's a big one. Rough Copy says Roman, Seth, and Gunther retain past SummerSlam. Roman, Seth, and Gunther. Boy, the fans, I'm not sure how the fans are going to feel about that one, to be honest with you. Roman, Seth, and Gunther all retain past SummerSlam. Ooh, you're playing with fire there, man. Disco Ball says Karrion Kross will take the WWE title off of Cody in 24. Heel challengers are lacking, and he and his stable can become a focal point when the bloodline steps aside. I like Karrion Kross and him with the Authors of Pain with Paul Ellering. I think that's a cool idea. I don't know if he's a title guy, though. I kind of feel like he's going to continue to be the guy who just like eats losses but claims that he got the win. I kind of feel like that's going to be him and the Authors of Pain. They're going to be taking these losses and they're going to be like, look what we did while eating the pin. We changed him, so then now he's a dickhead, and he wasn't a dickhead before. But that's what we do. And then Scarlett's got her weird fucking, hourglass with her, but they just take L's all the time. That's gonna be Karrion and the Authors of Pain, man. There you go. Orlando says NXT Europe will launch right around Bash at Berlin. I don't know about this one, man. I had that last year, and the Endeavor deal happened, so I think that tied up a lot of plans. But this is going to be really interesting. Is WWE going to concern themselves with global localization, world domination of wrestling? Or are they going to utilize existing companies like All Japan with Charlie Dempsey to have their guys go out and do excursions? I think WWE would probably end up doing more of an excursion thing. We saw that for a little while where they sent some NXT people to NXT UK before NXT UK folded. So maybe they're going to start sending NXT talent off to other promotions for extended periods of time, a month, 2 months, 6 months, something like that. Maybe it's a possibility. I think it'd be a good idea. Shotgun Sean says Gunther will lose the Intercontinental Championship mid-year to someone not on the main roster yet, like Ilya, but will end the year as world champion. I would be down for that. I think that'd be awesome. Gunther as world champion would be great. We'll end on this one because it's the thumbnail, and usually I don't like wait until the end of the video for this, but Josh Cade says Rhea wins the IC title and CM Punk will be released by the end of the year due to attitude issues. I don't see the Punk one happening. I think he's going to be on best behavior. I really do. Maybe that's just me hoping. I really do hope that. Rhea winning the IC title. I don't see it happening, but I'd love to see it. I think it'd be amazing. Josh, you got the prediction of the year for me. Rhea winning the IC title. I would love to see that. The fans would go absolutely crazy. Does WWE have the cojones to pull that one off? I don't think they will, but I think it'd be awesome. That's going to do it for 2024 predictions. Let me know your guys. If you didn't put it in this thread, I guess put it in the video comments. If you didn't get a chance to put it in the thread, I'll look at them. I'll read them. Probably won't read them on air because this is a one-time, once-in-a-year deal. So put them in the comments below so I can read them before I go to bed and sitting there in bed scrolling. No, Gypsy, she's at my mom's house because Bama had a sleepover here last night, and she's just too much when there's kids over here. So I took her to my mom's house. But anyways, she'll be back tomorrow.